Alright guys, hey! So I actually ended up buying the PolarPro variable ND filter from McKinnon. And so I actually was using the Tiffen variable ND filter before this, and I was using it for about 2 years before I wanted to upgrade. And I didn't really have any issues with the Tiffen. I actually have it right here. So I've been using this for a while, and wherever I shoot video, I probably needed this. And the main issue that I had with it was when you actually take a look at it, the filter itself, just like pretty much all the other ND filters, there's the filter part where it attaches to the lens, and then the front element. So this front element is a little bit bigger than the filter size, and that's because it's probably because of the ND filter. And putting it away with like a lens cap or anything along those lines was really difficult because nothing would get around it, and you can't just put like a normal filter. You can put the lens cap over the filter and it'll keep it all safe, but you can't really do that with the variable ND. So putting it away meant either taking it off or just putting it in your backpack and getting it all scuffed up. I don't know, and that really didn't sit well with me, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to upgrade, but it wasn't significant enough where I wanted to spend the money. And so when it came up, I actually just got this, and this has been out for a few months. And the reason why I got it was because the price was lower than the standard price, which is $250. $250 for a filter is a lot, and so I wanted to make sure it was good, and the price I got it for was great. And there's some advantages to it, mainly the one that I was talking about with being able to put the lens cap on. The lens cap that comes in this is fantastic and probably will save me a bit of time. I don't know if it's worth the $250, but to me, it was worth it. And I've done some tests on it. There are some differences with how the NDing works, but let's just jump into what you get in the box with this. All right, so this is the unboxing for the PolarPro variable ND filter with McKinnon. So you have PolarPro packaging all over, and then on the back you have McKinnon on the back here. So the packaging has a sleeve, and the sleeve is really nice. It gives you kind of everything that you want to know about the filter. It gives you a picture of it, McKinnon and what he's affiliated with, and 2 to 5 stops. And then if you open it up on the side here, you get this really nice like matte black box, and then you open that up and you hit the product. So this is the puck that I was talking about. This kind of cover goes over the filter as you are using it, so you don't have to take it off your lens, and you put this on and you can put it in your backpack and it won't get scuffed up. So this alone adds quite a bit of value to the actual product. I think they sell this separately, and you can put it on like the regular ND filter, but I think it's like $30. And then from there, you get this hard case. The hard case is really nice. It holds everything that you need it to, but it won't hold the filter with this actual cover over it. So that's something to note. And inside, it's like a nice aluminum. I'm assuming it's like fake aluminum, and then you open it up and you have the filter here. Just get this focused here. So the filter itself it has like I think a brass outlining, but it's made out of full metal, unlike the other ones, and it's really nice in hand. And you can see here that it's really smooth. It has hard stops on all the ends, so you can't go over, unlike the Tiffen. So if I pull up the Tiffen here, so the Tiffen, it has, when you are using it, you can go past the limit. So if you see here, you can see the dots, and you can go past the minimum and maximum, which is really bad because they're not supposed to go that far, and I don't know what happens really if you go past the maximum. That's when you start getting the X pattern, and that starts ruining everything. So the hard stops really are a big advantage from there. So also in the box, this has magnets, which is really cool. So it just closes up and it won't open up. So that's super nice. And under here, you'll get the other carrying option. So you get all 3 carrying options. You get the cover, you get the the hard case, and then you get the soft case. So the soft case is actually what I use. It has this really cool microfiber cloth that's built in, and so you can clean it up, and it's always attached. So it's like sewn in, and you'll always have it when you need it. So when you're done with the shoot, you can clean it off and put it in. So this does actually fit the filter with the cover. So you can put it in here when you're not using it, and then when you are using it, you can use the actual cover for the lens, and then put this away, and then when you're done with the filter altogether, you can put it back in here. It is a little big for what it is, so that's what it is, but you have every single option that you need to carry this thing, so you'll always have it, and it's very convenient the way that they did it. All right, so that's what you get in the box. You also get the microfiber cloth with Peter McKinnon's photo on it, but I don't have that out hand. And that's not a big deal. I don't really need the microfiber cloth, but everything else I did need, so I'm glad I got all the carrying options. So I'll see you guys in a second. All right, so we tested the ND filters against each other. We went to the park and we tested it on a cloudy day. We also did the white balancing before we put the filter on, because we wanted to make sure we had kind of a benchmark and make it as easy as possible to see kind of the tint that each of them are displaying on the neutral image. And from the looks of it, the PolarPro one is definitely better, and you can see why when we look at it. But the way that it looks for the Tiffen isn't bad. So only when you put them side by side do you really understand what the PolarPro is doing. But if you have the Tiffen, it's not a bad image at all. It's just the ND filter from PolarPro is better. So I'll go and explain it a little bit more. So if you take a look at the screenshot here, you can see on the left is the Peter McKinnon, and on the right is the Tiffen. So this is the one where we're exposing for the trees here. And you can take a look, I'll start playing it now. You can see on the right that it's way cooler, and on the left it's warmer, and you can see a little bit more detail in the highlights. And so what's happening is the more ND that's applied on the actual Tiffen filter, it's casting a blue tint on your footage. And the left with Peter McKinnon's, it's more true tone, and you can actually see the subtle differences that allow for a bit more saturation to come through. And this is kind of the second highest ND that's available to us right now. In the next clip, we'll see the higher ND. So if you take a look at the screenshot here, you can already see in the Tiffen filter that there's way less saturation in the actual trees than the Peter McKinnon's. And so if we start playing the clip, the more ND you apply for the Tiffen, the less saturation you'll get and the more blue tone you'll get. It's still a very usable image, you know what you're looking at, and you can also fix all of this in post, but Peter McKinnon's can keep that image as pristine as possible. It seems to add a warm shift tone to it, but that's still kind of pleasing to me, and you can also fix that in post. I'm more pleased with Peter McKinnon's image than Tiffen's, but both are very usable, and the saturation loss for Tiffen kind of is more annoying than anything that the Peter McKinnon's does. All right, so if you take a look at the screenshots here, we are exposing for the flower bed and the sun is beating down on us. So we have maximum ND, and you can also see the detail and saturation being lost on the Tiffen on the right. And we start the clip now. It makes it very apparent that there is a warm shift tone on the Peter McKinnon side, but you can also see that the greens from the trees are way brighter and more saturated in Peter McKinnon's. And that to me is way more pleasing to the eye and kind of worth the price tag. But Tiffen's is still really good. The radiance from the sun is fantastic. Both are very pleasing, but to me, Peter McKinnon's is just that extra oomph that makes it way better in my mind. All right, so for conclusions, I have the Tiffen. I've had this for about 2 years, and I've used it pretty much all the time whenever I'm shooting video. And for the price, this one is about, you can get it for $100 on Amazon or your photo store. And I paid about $60, which was used, and I think it was pretty good value since I used it for so long. But again, there are some issues with this. Namely, the fact that you can't really see where you are in terms of stops for the ND. So it's incremented with these dots, but you don't know what stop you're actually on. And so that can get a little bit annoying. And also, the fact that there aren't any hard stops on the Tiffen really hinders it. I don't know if I can keep going, and the more you go towards the ends, the more you'll see that X pattern. And that's what everyone talks about, is there that X pattern. And that X pattern really will ruin your image, especially if you're using it for time lapses. So that, I do see the X image on this filter, but it's very rare when I have to go to max ND anyways. So that's the reason why I've kept it for so long. It's a workhorse. It'll always be there for me, and it'll do what I need it to do. And the price tag, like, it's still affordable, and you'll use it for a long time. Now, Peter McKinnon's. There's a ton of benefits with using Peter McKinnon's. I really like the carrying options that you have. You have so many. You have all three options. The hard stops, the showing where the stops are for 1 through 5 is fantastic. The build quality is better, but I mean, that's not that big a deal. This is higher end, and the image that I'm getting from this is more pleasing than I'm getting from Tiffen's. But is that worth the price difference, right? I paid, or this is $250 compared to $100. Is it worth almost 2.5 times? That's for you to decide. For me, when I first started, it wasn't, which is why I didn't buy it. But I got this for about $100, which is $150 off. So like about 60% off. So it was well worth it. And I think it's paying for itself. And I'll use it for, I don't know, however long I'll need a variable ND filter, which seems to be forever. I would say if you're on the fence about it, you're probably looking to upgrade anyways. But if you do see it on sale at any point and you were on the fence, I think that's all you need to purchase this thing. If you can get $50 off, maybe on Black Friday it'll be $50 off, you just pick it up then. It's a fantastic package. You'll use it all the time. The earlier you get it, the more you'll use it, so it'll pay for itself in no time. I'm very happy with my purchase. Obviously, I got it for a great price. And I didn't think I'd like it this much. Being able to screw on and screw off the filter with this thing is really convenient. You just turn it on. It is really annoying for Tiffen when you're putting it on, because the front element is the ND adjuster. It's kind of hard to put it on. There are some grips, but this kind of eliminates that whole ordeal completely. And that's kind of my selling point. This grippy thing is awesome, and you can buy that separately, and you can save a whole bunch of money by buying the grippy thing and a Tiffen variable NT filter, and that'll probably cost you $150, and you'll save $100. All in all, I'm happy with it. I hope this information was good. I wanted to create something that was useful that would have been useful for me when I was looking to purchase this thing, even at full price. So, hope you liked it, guys. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a like. And if you love the video, you can drop a sub. I want to create content that I wish I had when I was learning photography and videography on gear that I wish I had. So if you have any idea what I should look into next, drop a comment. I'll also have links to the products that I used and to my website for a written review of the Peter McKinnon filter, and you can also follow me on Instagram. So I'll see you guys later.